What we see in the majority of this discussion is the exchange of information related to the contract. A lot of them, you say, were not related to your environment. Then we have instances where Mr. Matlala is asking for contact details related to other SAPS members. And then I think outside of the text about asking about General Motsepe, there's just that picture depicting the wedding where General Nkua was in attendance. So when you consider the body of the WhatsApp chats in this period, what it seems like is that Mr. Matlala was sending to you problems related to the contract, and you were pushing his interests or trying to further his interests. Sometimes you did so against your own employer. And then we see payments, albeit you've denied that these payments have ever reached you. However, you must accept that you provided that account. And it appears as though the relationship was quid pro quo, where you helped him with his contract and his challenges, and he provided some gratification in the form of, I say, those 3 payments, alternatively some favors when you required. Do you care to comment on that?
I don't even know how to comment. I'm not sure if Mr. Sherinzi wants to comment. I'm not sure.
No, he will. Mr. Sherinzi will have his time.
Okay. No, I do not agree. Me and Mr. Matlala, we were in a relationship, and I'm requesting the commission to go and do a further investigation to check if we were indeed in a relationship, but we were definitely in a relationship. And secondly, I do agree, I'm the one who requested the money, but I never received that money. And then thirdly, the communication or the documents that were being shared, it was not to advance Mr. Matlala. If you check, some of them will have disadvantaging him, will have been disadvantaging him in terms of the claims and also moving accounts from members to the company Medicare. So I do not agree with your conclusion, Advocate.
I'm willing to accept that there was an instance where it could be deemed unfavorable, where it related to changing the invoices. But I do think it's still up for debate whether or not the one related to the 140, the list of 140, was favorable or unfavorable until we get that additional evidence. And Brigadier, I know you are saying that the Commission must do further investigations as to whether or not there was a relationship, but do you accept that in your statement where you're given an opportunity to address this, you have equally not given us any evidence but for you saying that you had a relationship with him?
I do agree, but from my side, I gave enough evidence to show that me and Mr. Matlala, we were in a relationship. Furthermore, I will say who alleges must prove it. So from my side, I have proven my side. So the Commission, because it's alleging that I did not have a relationship with Matlala, then they need to prove it.
No, Brigadier, you allege that you have a relationship with
Yes.
Mr. Matlala.
And I've proven it.
How?
I've proven it through the WhatsApp messages
The WhatsApp messages were provided by the commission.
Through the pet names indicated on the WhatsApp messages, as well as the money that he was giving me since 2019.
But the money that was described in these chats in particular, you say you didn't receive. Moreover, you say you didn't make alternative arrangements to get that money. And then you also tell us that you advocated for a different person to get the money even when you were desperate. So you're essentially saying that none of those gifts or that money was for you.
I'm not talking about the monies from 2024. I'm talking about the monies from 2019 until 2021, which was extracted from his bank account.
But do you accept that what you have given us is an explanation of what's in the chat? You have not given us any evidence of your relationships. For example, people would provide a picture or something to show that, I was in a relationship with someone. But for your say-so.
I was never requested to bring them. If I was requested to bring them, I was going to bring the pictures.
All right. Okay. Commissioners, that's all on my end, unless there are questions from the commissioners.
Brigadier, before we break for lunch, I know everybody is hungry, so we will try to make this quick. In your statement on page 11, can you please go there?
I'm there, Commissioner.
Are you there? Remember, this statement is in a form of an affidavit, and it says so on page 1. It starts by saying affidavit. You remember that?
Yes, Commissioner.
And then you say, I, Rachel Macheng, state under oath in English, then you give your statement.
That's correct.
Yes. And then on page 12, the very last paragraph, it says, I know and understand the contents of this statement. I have no objection to taking the prescribed oath. I consider the prescribed oath to be binding on my conscience. I swear that the contents of this statement are true. Do you see that?
I see that, Commissioner.
And then you sign it on the 2nd of December, 2025.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Which is 2 months ago. Now, in paragraph 45.3 on page 11, you deal with monies owed by Mr. Matlala to Modiegi.
That's correct.
And you say in your affidavit that the monies owed were plus minus 38,000. Do you see that?
It was a typo.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Yes. When did you first notice the typo? Because I take it you must have read your affidavit before you signed it.
Sometimes you'll miss some of the things, Commissioner.
Yes. Because this thing is important. I'm going to suggest to you that the reason why you want to change this amount from 38,000 to 338,000 is because you've now seen the Commission's bundle of documents. And you can see that in the bundle of documents, the money paid to Modiegi's butchery is 300,000. And if Mr. Matlala only owed Modiegi 38,000, Modiegi would not have retained 300,000. All that money would have come to you. The reason you now want to change the contents of your affidavit, which you saw under oath that they were true and correct, is because that's the only way you can explain that discrepancy between the 38,000 and the 300,000.
The affidavit or the evidence from the Commission that indicates 300,000, I only received it on Tuesday.
Yes.
By then, when did I meet with Mr. Ndlovu? I think it was last week, Friday. Then we agreed that we will do a supplementary document, a supplementary affidavit.
So you're saying you're not changing it because you saw the contents of the
No,
commission's
that
bundle?
one I got it on Tuesday. And I discussed with Mr. Ndlovu when we were going through this.
Yes. All right, thank you.